Gmail Length and Structure, Accessibility and Practice, Colorado Department of Labor and Employment. Let's talk about email length and structure. First, keep it short. Emails are quick messages. They're not meant to be long essays, treatises, or reports. Save those for your docs. Instead, think of emails as singular messages or summaries you wish to share with colleagues. So, if you have multiple things to discuss, break your emails into multiple sections. For example, in my email, I have 4 sections. I have new project on the horizon, barbecue on Friday, signups for potluck so far, and accessibility. Now, I marked these with bold and underlines. However, none of these headings are actually going to communicate as headings for screen reader or braille display users. That's because I only used styles like bold or underline. There is no way to identify headings in a simple Gmail. So just know, again, keep it short because there really isn't a way to provide heading structure in a simple Gmail. Instead, think of these sections as short lists. So in my new projects on the horizon, I have a perfect example to create a list. In my sentence in this section, I have, first, we will definitely need to make a plan for how to address our stakeholders. This sounds like the first in a series of steps, which it is. So what I can do is use a numbered list instead of a series of sentences to make my email chunked and to the point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new line where my first list item would start. I'm going to then create a new line where my next list item would start, and so on until I have all my list items listed out. Next, I'm going to highlight all of my list items and then go to the bottom of my message where I can insert a numbered list. Alternatively, I can use Control-Shift-7 on my keyboard. When I press numbered list or Control-Shift-7, it will insert an automatically numbered bulleted list. Now I have chunked my numbered list instead of having a number of sentences that creates a big block of text. This is great for creating multiple sections of content. Similarly, later down in my email, I have content that is a list of signups and items for a potluck. Because I know this text is pretty small, I'm going to go ahead and make it a little bit bigger. And now I'm going to highlight these items, and instead of a numbered list, I'm going to use a bulleted list. This is because these items appear in no particular order. In other words, there's no order in which I need to list them or in which these items need to be purchased. So I'm going to go down to the bulleted list option or use Control-Shift-8 on my keyboard. When I've highlighted those items, I'll select Bulleted List, and that creates another chunk of bulleted items. So now instead of having 2 text walls or paragraphs, I now have 2 sets of bulleted lists. This is a wonderful way to chunk or break up my email into digestible sections. Finally, I want to make sure that I remove any underlines from items that are not hyperlinks. This is because hyperlinks are distinguished not by their color, but by their underlines. So if I think that something is a hyperlink, I'm going to click on it. But because these items are not actually hyperlinks, they're not going to take me anywhere. So I'm going to ununderline these headings. And there I have it. I've made my email nice and chunked and short and concise. Find more videos on our YouTube channel at CDLE _DLSS.